as a lover of Black people, as a lover of my skin, my history, no matter how tumultuous it was, as a people, we are amazing. We are absolutely amazing. So it's tough for me to see publicized this idea that when we are humans, right? Humans make dumb decisions sometimes. We just do. But when we make a dumb decision, that means it has something to do with some kind of oppression or bigger reason or conspiracy. No, just no. Okay, here's my intro. Let me just erase that right there and go simple. My name, A-Z, no, I don't like that. A-Z-I-Z-A-K-I-B-I-B-I. Okay, people, I just had to get on here really quick to sound off. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Aziza Kibibi. I am an author, an activist, a media personality, a chef, a mom, and a survivor. If you're new here, you will find out everything about my life. My channel is chock full of everything dealing with the human experience. Like right now, trying to get through this video without my neighbors crashing through the ceiling. This whole Tessica Brown, Gorilla Glue Girl thing is just completely out of hand. This woman made a ridiculous decision, and I'm going to bring up 2 points, prompted by an article that I read in USA Today. So this article was published on February 11th, 2021. And the headline, which is already problematic, Gorilla Glue hair mishap comes to an end, highlights lack of awareness about Black hair care. So the headline kind of threw me off, but it was written by Rasha Ali, who, after doing some research, I did find she is a woman of color. I haven't determined if she is biracial, if she's African American, if she's, I don't know, but she is a woman of color. And in this article, she goes through, of course, what every article has to do when they are attaching themselves to something that is already in the media, goes through the entire history of how Tessica Brown got all of this notoriety for a very poor decision that she made in her hair care regime. But one thing she put in the article, which I think that it's pulling for straws and an attempt, maybe it was her bosses. I understand media, I understand you have editors, I understand you have writers, and a lot of times these big conglomerates, media conglomerates, like the company that owns USA Today, who is owned and was started by...
Wait, are you recording now?
So USA Today is owned by the Gannett Company, essentially, because, you know, these media corporations have all kinds of holding companies, but the original company is the Gannett Company that was started by Frank Gannett. He's a white man. So we have this essentially white company trying to attach themselves to a very unfortunate incident that was brought into reality by an irresponsible decision that a woman made who happens to be Black, now writing an article saying that the reality is that sometimes Black women need to venture outside of their hair care aisle to find products that work. Mayonnaise, olive oil, and avocados are all used for hairstyling purposes. Okay. Don't make it seem like that we explore natural products, usually food grade products, in our hair because there are no available options. Look, There are plenty of people that would actually think, how much does an Haas avocado go for now? Like $3 in the supermarket? To just mash it up and put it in your hair, or to take a bottle of mayonnaise and put it in your hair, is a luxury. So to bring it here as if like, oh, well, sometimes we have to venture into the grocery store, so therefore this lady had to venture into the hardware store. No, that's not gonna fly. And that's my issue. My issue with this article attaching itself on the wave, the media frenzy that is Tessica Brown, is trying to attach itself in a way where it's like to uplift Black people or to bring attention to issues that we have with our hair. I'm guessing that this article, or that Miss Ali was attempting to garner some sympathy with this article. I don't know why. You don't garner sympathy for a person at the expense of a whole group of people. Because the fact of the matter is, Black women do not have a problem finding hair care products. We just don't. I live in Essex County, and there's like a beauty supply store every 100 feet. There's a beauty supply store across from the other beauty supply store. If the product is out at one store, guess what? You just have to cross the street to find it at the other store. There is not an issue or any difficulty in finding a beauty supply store or product. Look, there's even a Black beauty supply store right in the area that I live. They opened through the pandemic. So being able to find hair care products is not an issue. And to try and make it look like that it is, and to suggest that the reason why this lady, Miss Tessica Brown, used Gorilla Glue on her hair is because she couldn't find hair care products for her hair, is ridiculous. It's honestly extremely ridiculous. Now, I'm gonna tell you one thing this whole incident did bring attention to, that I feel, my opinion, okay, just my opinion, and I'm going to say this very cautiously, but I feel one thing that Black people don't do is read the directions. One, they don't read directions. They don't follow the precautions on the label, and they just don't prepare. Okay, I may be slightly biased only because the white people that I have been around are very thorough. Maybe that just happens to be a couple of white. There are some other people, white people, that don't read the directions or ignore the precautions. But every time, including my own children, I have to constantly tell the Black people in my life and the Black people that I know, read the instructions, ventilate your area, don't use it on your skin. Like, you just have to tell. I don't know why. I even had a situation where I lived in this apartment, being on the come up. I lived in this apartment where I had a slumlord. It was a Black woman. She owned her home. So I lived on the first floor, and out of the blue, suddenly, guess what started showing up? Roaches. Now, I'd never had roaches in my home before. I think maybe I've seen one, other than from when I was little. The apartment that I grew up in was riddled with roaches, and there had to be constant treatment. But as far as my homes and my dwellings, I have always maintained a level of cleanliness where I really haven't had a roach problem. And as soon as one showed up, I would go into just destroy mode and get rid of the possibility of any other one showing up. Because the fact of the matter is, I'm highly allergic to roaches. I have asthma. So I see a roach, kill it. Oh, maybe it's just a straggler came in through the window. I see another roach, kill it. Call the landlord. She comes, takes her time. About a week later, she's going to fumigate. She's going to eradicate the issue. After blaming me for there being vermin in the apartment, She proceeded to then take boric acid and just sprinkle it everywhere. So that's boric acid that this lady just came and sprayed in my window where my toothbrushes are. See that? This is, well, I wasn't prepared for you to come do this. She just continues to dump it all over my kitchen stuff. She sprinkled it by my food. She sprinkled it through my windows. She sprinkled it by where my cat ate. It was ridiculous. I had to come and tell her, lady, you're not following the directions on the package. It says do not place near pets. Do not put where there is food being stored or prepared. How are you just sprinkling this stuff everywhere? Do not put where wind can blow. Literally, as she was pouring it, the wind coming in through the window just started blowing it in the air. And this is that. I had another situation where someone came into the apartment to spray something for mildew. The can clearly says to ventilate, to open the windows, and they didn't do it. They didn't cover anything. They didn't even give me the opportunity to move my personal belongings out of the way. So maybe it's in the hood or in the urban communities, or I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. The people of color that I have been around, the black people that I have been around, seem to always skip the precautions on the label. They either don't read them at all or they completely disregard them. So now Tessica's trying to sue. Honestly, I don't think that's going to hold up in court. I don't. It wasn't Gorilla Glue's fault. I think what she thought is that this was a good replacement. Hey, this is stiff, this holds. She did not mistake it for Gorilla Snot, that other gel stuff that even I have. I bought it for my son one day. His hair is very soft. He wanted a mohawk. So I read that this Gorilla Snot product would keep his hair standing straight up. It didn't. His hair was way too soft and it just kind of scrunched up. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But it clearly says for hair care. It's in the hair care aisle. If she pulled out this Gorilla Glue in her own house and looking back on her Instagram profile, at some point she was running a summer camp out of her home, or she was running a summer camp. It looks like it was out of her home. I can't say for a fact it was out of her home, but it looks like it was out of her home. And she had crafts. She had Elmer's glue and all kind of stuff for the little children to use and do activities. Maybe she had it in her cabinet from that. But then that would mean that she bought it with the intention of using it for its specific uses, not for her hair. Maybe. So whatever it is, I don't even give that any more attention, because honestly it's very embarrassing, and I know she has definitely gotten a come up with this whole situation, but that's not what I would want to be known for, because the decision was just really, 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 really dumb. And I don't even see how anybody could trust this person or a person that would make a decision like that with their children, because it's like, oh, hey, we ran out of mayonnaise. Let's freaking put some Elmer's in place of it. Like, no. This whole situation, and I guess as a mom, as a black woman with natural hair, you know, I have done everything from bought hair products intentionally to support black businesses, to support black hair care. I'm a huge fan of Ancient Cosmetics. And I've also made my own. You know, when I was young, my dad was completely against any packaged, pre-bought, so I had to make everything for my hair. Yes, I used mayonnaise. Yes, I tried an avocado facial. I broke out. That didn't work. Yes, I did almond meal. We only use castor oil in our hair. These things are not unlike what the article on USA Today is suggesting. This is not like a downgrade. You know, the whole hair care product industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Honestly, you can really, especially for black women, you can really get away with spraying with some water and putting some oil in your hair. Like, that's what we grew up with. So all of this extra stuff, this laying flat and blah, 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 essentially that is trying to appeal to some kind of white aesthetic of just having your hair like slick, flattened, and straight. But if you want to do that, then that's fine. I don't like the look on me. I've seen it on others. It looks great. There is this hair care product that I'm new to. I follow this lady. She does a products line called Jew Poppin'. She's a hairstylist. I think she's from the West Indies, and it's amazing. It's great. Now her oil, her root growth stimulator is really basic. It's got some oils that anyone can find, anyone can get their hands on. But you want to know what I pay for? One, all of the effort that she puts into doing this. I respect her hustle. I respect her grind. I appreciate her work. And I don't want to be bothered with buying all them little bottles and then mixing them myself. Like, the convenience. I'm paying for the convenience. Yes, I can do all this by myself, but I'm paying for the convenience, and I'm happy to do that and supporting another Black woman. So this whole idea that this lady wrote about is just, honestly, is very insulting. I think it's insulting to the culture. I think it's insulting to our ethnicity, to our race, to us as a people, to try and say that she made this decision because it's hard to find Black hair care products. I can tell you what's hard: her freaking hair. Her hair was pretty damn hard. That's the only thing that was hard. Other than that, finding natural hair care products, finding natural hair care products for Black hair. Look, freaking guru of Black hair care products, Madam C.J. Walker, first Black millionaire. How can you say that we can't find hair care products? Maybe back then we couldn't. But even then, what were people using? I don't know what white people were using back then. I'm sure they didn't have hair care products. Probably came from Black people. Look, the freaking Maasai puts clay and stuff in their hair to beautify it. Egyptians was using crushed up ants for eyeliner. Like, we've been doing this. It's not difficult to find. So don't try to make it look like it's difficult to find, because it's not, and has nothing to do with why this woman, Tessica Brown, glued her hair down. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely remember to subscribe, because there will be definitely more coming. I usually post on Sundays, but I'm trying to get more content throughout the week. I love shorts. I just love shorts. I'm doing a series called Icebreakers / what not to do / did you know, where it's just little tidbits of information that I have picked up throughout my journey, these 43 years, that I just want to share as just like things that make you go, So definitely subscribe so you're notified for when those posts. And other than that, like, share, and see you next time. Bye. Citrus in our beverages, show only the good sides. Always pretty smiles are covering our faces. You know it is all lies. You know it is all lies. On and on it goes.